It says we're
Sorry.
live. Yeah, you went right loud, right in my ears immediately.
Yeah,
Let me double
that's
check
what
the
happened.
stream. Yep, every time per usual. Let me double check the stream, make sure we're on,
It
and then
says live, yo.
it says live.
It
Yo,
does.
does it?
It does.
It says live, yo.
No, it says live.
Oh,
Come on, silly goose.
got him. Let me check the Facebook real quick. Let me see the Facebook. One time for the birthday, two times
Whose
for the
birthday
birthday.
is it?
I don't know. This is a song that came in my head, so I decided to go with it.
Kind
You
of
know what I mean?
random.
Yep. So, hi,
Hello.
Chantal. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. What's up, everybody?
What's up? What's up? What's up? So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna bring the chat up once we get people in here. I'll bring the chat up. Can you see the actual screen? Like, what do you see on your end? I'm just
I
curious.
see everything.
Like the whole setup.
I see it all, bro. I see
Okay,
it
for
all.
sure. For sure. Okay, for sure. For sure. We good then. Okay, for sure. Say less. Say less. All right. So I want to get started with this podcast because interesting news happened today. As you know, in America, there was a particular trial that went forth today with a verdict for a man, or a boy, I should say, now a man, 18 now. So, if you guys don't know, we're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. I think that's how you say it. Rittenhouse, I believe. And he was a young man who had shot two people. Oh shit! Last year during the protesting and stuff, and he ended up shooting two people or three people, killing two people, and yeah. So apparently, there's a long story. I'm sure you guys have seen it. And before I really say my piece, do you have any words, Chantal, about the particular case, about this guy, about the situation? Do you have any words before I say anything else? I'll let you go.
No, I don't. Listen. You might as well just go ahead and speak because I don't have any words at all.
You have no
None.
words.
I have no words. I don't. I want to say I don't care, but that's like extremely harsh and not incredibly accurate. I'm just not surprised. Like I just don't have any. I'm not surprised. There's nothing in me that thought when he went to trial that he was gonna get convicted, right? Like there's nothing in me that thought that. So because of that,
Okay.
to come down today with the not guilty verdict is like, meh.
So you're saying you weren't surprised? Like you are you saying that you didn't think he was gonna get charged? Or you thought he was innocent, or you thought he? Or I'm just kind of curious to see your point of view. As you said, you don't really know. You didn't really know at first, or you didn't really care about it because you didn't think it was
no,
going to be a verdict, or is that what you said?
I didn't. So what I said was, there's nothing in me that thought that he was going to be held accountable for his actions. Let me say that.
Gotcha.
So with the not guilty verdict, it was just confirming something that I already knew. So because of that, I just don't have any.
Okay, gotcha. That's interesting. That is interesting to me because
Is it?
it is, because you already know we're about to go.
I want you to speak your piece. That's really what I'm here for.
So real talk, because we'll keep it pretty brief on the situation. But I looked at I didn't watch the trial, but I looked at everything that happened before, and I started doing my research and stuff and kind of seeing what happened and exactly how it happened. And for me personally, when I look at the facts, I don't think he's guilty. Me personally, don't think he's guilty. Not warranted. There's a lot of hearsay. Why would he have
Okay, pause. You have to back up. Back up. You can't say you don't think he's guilty without saying why.
Because I
so why don't you think he's guilty?
Because I looked at what I would do in that situation. Now, if I was in the middle of a riot, protest, and however incident starts to happen doesn't really matter for me. I'm looking at the fact that, okay, there is somebody who's potentially coming after me, and I do have a gun, but I decide to run away from the potential issue. And when I get away from the issue follows me back to where I was. Okay.
And you don't think he instigated the situation by having an automatic weapon?
Yeah, I mean, that could be true. That could be. But also, does it mean because you have a weapon that you're instigating somebody? Because you remember, like, he's not the only person
That's absolutely what it means.
Okay, how so?
That's absolutely what it means.
Okay,
Anyway,
how?
I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no,
Go ahead.
no,
I
it's
need
not.
to I need to hear this entire take before I respond.
Okay.
I need to hear every piece of it.
Here we go, baby. But no, I looked at the facts and I realized in that situation, I just felt he wasn't guilty. He was innocent because the guy was coming after him, and then he ended up shooting the guy that was coming after him. Okay. And then then somebody tried to pick up a skateboard and throw it at him or hit him in the back of the head or something like that. And then he ended up turning and shooting somebody else when he's getting attacked and doesn't know who's attacking or what. And then also the first guy, I think the first or second guy, one of the guys who attacked him, pulled a gun on him and pointed at him. And then he shot the guy. So how I look at it from my point of view is, look, I don't care who you are. If you point a gun at me and I have a gun, I'm going to shoot. There's just no way. There's no way I'm not going to shoot, at least in that my perspective. And you got to remember also, too, this is a riot. There is a lot of shit going on, and it's a lot of chaos in general. So I don't know who has what or who's going to do what or what moment I may lose because I don't know what they have. So I'm trying to protect myself. So when I looked at that, I said, I don't think he's guilty, in my personal opinion. So your thoughts, Chantal? But that's not strong? No, never mind. That's my wife in the background. Oh, so I'm assuming you're looking up some stuff. I'm assuming, right?
No, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking.
Because
So
go ahead.
Do you think that showing up to a protest with an automatic weapon is okay?
Are you asking from a black person?
I'm asking a question. I'm not asking for a black person. Okay. In general. Do you think an adolescent teenager, it's okay for that teenager to cross, what was it, state lines, county lines?
Yeah, cross state lines to go
state lines to go to a protest with an automatic weapon. And we're not talking about a handgun, right? Like, we're talking about an automatic rifle. Is that okay? Yes or no?
Okay, so before I answer, let me say this disclaimer. I don't really hold on. Everyone says automatic rifle, assault rifle, and stuff. Let's just be honest. Any weapon is an assault weapon. A handgun's an assault weapon.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter. I'm not saying that. I just want to make that disclaimer because I know people are going to say that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that point. Although I could, given what is legal to carry in this country, right?
Okay.
Right? So it's legal to carry a handgun.
Okay.
It is illegal to carry an assault rifle, if I'm not mistaken. Unless you are a part of the militia. Okay. So I'm not going to argue that point, but I could. Okay. So the question remains the same. Is it okay for an adolescent teenager to cross state lines with an assault rifle? Yes or no?
I don't see it as being a problem in my opinion, no.
You do not think that it is a problem for an adolescent teenager to cross state lines with an assault rifle, Anthony? You don't think there's anything wrong with that scenario?
I heard the question the first time. No,
I just want to make sure you don't think there's anything wrong with that. You don't. No, I'm just a 17-year-old kid with an assault rifle. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm looking at looking from so let me tell you my lens. I'm looking at it from if you're allowed to open carry, you have a right to bear arms, then yes.
And with an assault rifle. And it's not you do not have the right to bear arms with an assault rifle.
And it's not illegal for adolescents to carry a rifle. It's illegal for them to purchase a rifle. You
Are
have to be
you
18
sure?
to purchase. Yeah, I looked at the laws earlier. So
Okay.
adolescents can actually carry a gun or have a gun. Kayla, I can still see you crawling. It's funny.
That's true, Michaela. So just walk out the room, baby. Just stand up and walk out the room, baby.
She's just
So,
like, oh, she's a little crying, but it's not illegal. It's not
okay.
illegal for adolescents 16 or 17 to have a rifle, to be in possession of a rifle, especially in an open carry state. So it's not
Okay.
illegal.
So
in
it's
that.
not illegal for a 17-year-old to walk the streets with an assault rifle. That's fine. But what I'm asking you is that scenario okay to you, right? Which you responded, yes, that scenario is okay for you, right?
In general,
You
it's a hard.
responded yes earlier.
Well, I
You
know,
said
but
that you don't have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with it. I still don't have a problem with it, but I'm also thinking how this is going to play out later on. I'm trying to look at the whole situation and be like, if I just seen a kid walking around with a gun for no reason, I would be a little alarmed. Like, why is this kid carrying a gun? That's what I'd
Okay.
be thinking.
Okay.
In the circumstance of what we're talking about in the middle of this particular situation, I wouldn't find it that surprising, I would say.
At a protest.
At a protest, no. I wouldn't. With
Okay.
riots going on, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be surprising to me personally. I'm not saying that that's the norm.
Now, the next thing that I'm hearing, which I don't know to be true, is that he carried to a protest, right? He carried the gun to a protest. The protest had not yet turned into a riot, from what I understand. He carried the gun to a protest. He did not carry the gun to a riot. It was a protest, correct?
That's what I think so far.
It's a
I'm not
protest.
100% sure, but yeah.
Okay, so let's use the correct words for what it is.
We'll use that.
Let's use correct words, right? It's a protest.
Okay.
A protest does not necessarily doesn't include violence, right? A protest is a protest, right? Somebody walking down the street, protesting upset. Okay, it was a protest.
Yeah.
He carried an assault rifle to a protest. Okay.
Okay.
And you're saying that the act of a white kid carrying an assault rifle to a Black Lives Matter protest did not or should not have incited or instigated any violence.
A white kid going to a Black Lives Matter protest with a gun should not incite any violence. That's the question, right?
I'm asking you, do you think that incited or instigated any sort of negative reaction?
I mean, I'm sure it could. I'm definitely could see that it could. Not saying that it did, but it can for sure.
Okay.
I mean, it definitely can. People.
So if you were at a Black Lives Matter protest and you saw a little white boy walking around with an assault rifle, how would you feel? Would you feel safe?
It depends if I had a gun or not.
Would you feel safe? Like, that's a yes or no question.
If I had
that's
a
yes
weapon,
or no question. Would you feel safe?
If I had a gun,
here's the thing. Even if you had a weapon, it was
Mhm.
probably concealed, right? And he's walking down the street with a big ass assault rifle on his chest, right? So whether you had a weapon or not, you're telling me you would not feel no type of way about that situation?
If
you're not afraid a little bit?
I mean, obviously, but I mean, first of all,
Okay. No. I'm just asking the questions.
I know. I like the questions. They're good. They're good.
It's my turn. It's my turn. It's still my turn.
Well, let me answer the question. You gotta let me answer the question. Gotta let me answer. Let me give you an example. There's one time I went out. Me and my wife, we went to a restaurant. It was actually out here. We went inside and we're waiting for our food to come out, and this dude walks in. This white guy. He's bald head. He had these big old flood pants, like kind of like punk rocker guy. He walks in. I didn't really think nothing too much of it, and I looked on the side of his hip, and he had a big ass like knife, like a big one. Okay. And my wife is like freaking out, like, what the heck? This guy's coming here with a big ass knife. Like, oh my gosh, like what? Because the guy came here, he came with his wife and a girl and like his 2 kids or whatever. So we're sitting there and she's like, oh my gosh, this guy has a knife. Like when she's kind of like, looking at it, like, distraught to some degree. And I'm looking like, guess I wasn't tripping on it because like if the guy tried to think I'm going to take this guy, number one. Number two, he's with his kids and his wife. I doubt he's going to come here trying to blundering people because of this situation. So back to the point. I would definitely be observant to the guy, but I wouldn't necessarily think the worst. But I have to consider there is danger because he has a loaded weapon. So there
Okay.
is a danger. There is a fear because he has a gun.
You did a great job of twisting the question. The question
Well,
is,
I'm back to the question though. I answered the question.
would you feel some type of way? Would you be afraid?
I don't think I
Yes
would be
or no?
afraid.
That's
I
it.
would be cautious. I'd for sure be cautious.
Okay, you'd be cautious.
Yeah, I would
If you
definitely
were
be like
carrying
more
a
alert.
weapon, would you be more inclined to draw it? Yes or no? Just based
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
fact.
based on the
Okay,
fact that somebody has
stop
a
right there.
weapon,
Just
yeah.
okay, hold on. Okay, stop right there. Stop right there.
Okay.
So, you just told me
Mhm.
that if you saw a white kid carrying an automatic rifle
Mhm.
at a Black Lives Matter protest,
Mhm.
you would be cautious, right? Let's not use the word scared. You would be cautious, right? You
Okay,
would feel
and
some type of way,
and just
right?
and just to clarify your statement too, I would feel that way if it was a black kid too.
Okay,
It's not about
that's
being
fine.
white. I just want to clarify. If somebody
That's
came
fine.
in with a
That's
gun,
fine.
yeah, I'm gonna
But
be
the
cautious.
fact that he's white, the reason why I keep saying that is because that is a material fact,
Yeah,
given
for sure,
that he
for
is at
sure.
a Black Lives Matter protest, right? It's important to bring that up, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to
White.
clarify my stance, but
Okay.
yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
get it.
used
I get
white
it.
because he stands out obviously in the
Cool.
group of what we're talking about. Okay.
That's fine. But the fact that he's a white kid carrying a weapon at a Black Lives Matter protest, I think it's important to note, right? That's why I
Okay.
keep saying it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
Warranted.
you would be cautious,
Mhm.
abrasive, and feel some type of way, right? And you just said that if you had a weapon, you would draw it.
Well, I'd be more inclined to use it.
You would be more inclined to use it, right?
Okay.
You draw it?
Mhm.
Okay. So the presence, so whether or not you are in direct danger hasn't been determined yet, right? Because
No.
it hasn't been determined yet. Because all we said was that he's there, you see him, he has a rifle, you're there, right? You feel some type of way. And if you're carrying a weapon, you have your hand on your weapon, correct?
Right.
So his very presence,
Mhm.
has caused what?
Someone to be cautious.
It has caused a reaction,
Okay.
right? It's
Okay.
caused a reaction, right?
Okay.
And that reaction is going to be a dangerous one, given both of you guys are armed, correct? In
Yeah.
this scenario that
I
I've created, both of you guys are armed, right?
yeah, it's
Who,
either we're both
okay,
scared or we both have mutual respect because we
how
know.
did that situation get started? Who instigated that?
I don't know. That's why I don't know in the story.
No,
I
no, no,
don't
no,
know
no.
who instigated. I don't know.
We
I don't
know who instigated it, right? It was instigated by the white kid with the gun because you said that if you saw it, you would feel some type of way, right? And then you
Okay.
being overly cautious would cause you to put your hand on your weapon, right?
Oh,
So we
yeah,
know based on
I'd
what you
be more
said
ready.
that the white guy being there carrying a rifle instigated a reaction from you, correct?
Okay.
Okay. So we have just established that this white dude instigated a reaction, right?
That's dependent on if you would
No,
react
no,
to
no,
it.
no, 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 no. Based on what you just said,
I'm saying
just
I'm
based
going
on
by
what
what
you just
I
said,
said. I'm going by what I said.
based on what
But
you just
that's not
said.
for everybody, but that's for me,
No,
yes.
yes, based on what you just said, it
I would
instigated
definitely
a
I would
reaction.
definitely I would definitely be more eyes alert, seeing what's going on. Like, okay, why is he carrying this? What's the reason
You
for
would
it?
you
I
would
would
pull
definitely
you would put your hand on your weapon.
I would be ready.
Okay.
Okay.
So his presence instigated a reaction from you.
Okay.
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 Given that his presence instigated a reaction from you,
Mm-hmm.
and now two people come up dead and one comes up injured, and mind you, this kid did not get hurt in any way.
Mm-hmm.
He was not injured in any way.
Mm-hmm.
you don't think that he should be held accountable for any of those actions. Because, in my opinion, he incited a riot by going to a protest with an automatic weapon.
Okay.
With a visible automatic weapon. And based on what you just told me, if you were there and you saw him and you had a weapon, you would be more inclined to do what? Put your hands on it. You would operate with an abundance of caution based on the actions of somebody else, correct?
Right.
And I think that's reasonable. And here's the thing, Anthony, I think that's reasonable. I'm not painting you in a bad light. I think it's reasonable for you to be cautious in the presence of a white guy at a Black Lives Matter protest with an automatic rifle on his chest. Your reaction is a reasonable one, right?
Okay. Warranted.
Okay. That is a reasonable reaction. So you're telling me that given your reasonable reaction, the white guy does not deserve any accountability for what took place that night, because the not guilty verdict says that.
Let me think.
And that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Let me think. So you're saying that because he's not guilty means he has no accountability to the situation, correct?
Yes.
Meaning in the sense of inciting or instigating the situation, correct?
Whatever you call it, right? Do I think it's first degree murder? Probably not. I think the case was botched all the way around. But this says to me that he is not being held accountable at all for his actions. Right.
So then question, what would you consider being held accountable to the actions? What do you think?
That's irrelevant.
I'm just curious.
This at the very least is negligent homicide.
Okay.
This is 2 counts of negligent homicide for instigating an activity that you knew could be dangerous, right? Instigating an activity, participating in activity, meaning that you came with an automatic rifle to a protest. You know that automatic rifles have the propensity to kill people, yes or no? Yes. So you know that by bringing the rifle, right, you are inciting, encouraging, and participating in an act that could be fatal. At the very least, it is negligent homicide.
Because you know how I feel?
What?
I would bring a gun to a protest anytime. Protest, riot. I mean, one, I probably wouldn't be there anyways. I probably wouldn't go. But if I'm going to go, I'm going to bring
Let's stop calling it a riot.
I'm just saying, protest, riot, whatever you decide, whatever it is. I wasn't there to say what it was. But what I'm saying is, if it's a protest, I'm probably going to bring my weapon. If it's a riot, I'm probably going to bring my weapon. Because at the end of the day, I don't know what people are going to do. And there's a lot of people
going to... So you're telling me that as a black man, pause. So you're telling me that as a black man, you would carry a weapon to a protest?
I mean, if I'm going to go, yeah. I mean, what am I going to do?
Okay. So there's one thing between carrying a concealed weapon, right? Which I don't think, I think if you need to carry a concealed weapon, do what you need to do, right? But you're telling me as a black man, you would go with an automatic rifle strapped to your chest?
I'd be more discreet.
Would you take an automatic rifle to a protest?
I don't know. I don't think I would.
You probably wouldn't. That's.
I don't think I would.
No, come on, man.
Now, if this is the only gun I have and I'm going to go and I have to be there for whatever reason, I'm going to take it. But it's not my first choice. It's not like I'm going to go and try to get this one to go out there. Yeah, I'll bring a weapon, something more concealable, something more, discreet. That's more for me. But if I'm going to be out there, I'm going to have something. That's just how I look at it.
I have officially given Kyle Rittenhouse more thought than I have ever wanted to give this white boy. I've given him too much thought.
Okay.
Too much time has been spent talking about this. Way too much time has been spent talking about this, but I stand by it. The fact that he was found not guilty.
I just find it really interesting because I hear a lot of there's like I've been watching like some like Black Twitter and stuff, and everyone's really upset about it. And like I guess what comes back, which is really bad. This is really bad to say. This is bad to say. I'm gonna say it, but it's bad to say.
Speak
But
your piece, bro.
this is how I feel. Honestly, I hear all these like Black people are complaining and being upset about it, about the verdict. But I'm like, this kid didn't kill any Black people, so why are we tripping? If you really think about it, he didn't murder anybody Black, didn't
He
hurt
did not
anybody
kill any
Black.
Black people.
So
He
why
did
are we
not kill
tripping
any
on
Black
what
people.
he did to white people? Why is it our problem? That's
I'm
really why.
not. Listen,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I look at. That's just how I look at it personally. Like he didn't kill no Black folks. Why are Black folks complaining? Not saying you are. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I heard it across Twitter and all social media. I'm like, look, he didn't kill no Black folks. Why are we involved in this? Like, why are we really? If you really think about, why are we really involved in something like that?
So when I said meh, right? That was
That
was a genuine reaction.
Warranted.
However,
okay,
given it's that's the reaction, right?
Yeah.
But the other side of this, right, is white people could do whatever the fuck they want and not get away. Like there's no that's the other side of this. That's the other side of this. That's why Black people are pissed. Because it's like white people can do whatever the fuck they want. They can even kill white people, right? There's white on white crime, right? And here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. White people can do whatever the fuck they want to, okay? And when they do it, ain't nothing happening, okay? So, and there's never gonna be a thing about Kyle Rittenhouse doing this being white on white crime. Nobody in their right mind is ever gonna say no shit like that, right? But if it was Black people, oh, you guys are doing this to yourselves, you're killing yourselves, right? That's the argument that we have to face all the time. And here it is, Kyle Rittenhouse kills 2 of his own people, right? And he's not even going to be held responsible for that. Not only is he not going to be held responsible for that, but I don't have to deal with the racist ass rhetoric of white on white crime being associated with it. That's why this is pissing people off. Like, let's be 100.
Okay.
Yes. Come on. That's why this is pissing people off, right? So it's
I can understand that.
On one hand, I can walk through the steps logically on why he should be held accountable in some sort of way, right? But come on, man, like the other side, we gotta look at what it is. That's the other side of it.
Don't say it. Don't do it.
Say it. Say it. All right, don't. It's up to you. Look. I didn't want to talk about. I didn't want to tell you. I gave this white boy too much of my time today.
I guess I hear what you're saying. I just have a different way of thinking. That's all. And fuck it. I'm gonna say it.
Please.
I'm not saying this is you. I'm just saying this is what I've seen generally. I'm speaking generally right now. But there are a lot of Black people that I know and who I just heard talking. But I feel like y'all give white people so much damn credit. Like, nigga, they're just regular ass niggas. Like, man, what the fuck? White people do everything. White people do everything.
No.
They can get away with everything. They can do everything wrong. They can get away. It's like everything is like white people did it. White people always did it. It's always all I hear is, oh, it's white men's fault. They did this and it's like, Nick, what the fuck? When are we gonna fucking say enough is enough? Figure your own shit out.
I don't understand where your rant is coming from in regard to this particular situation.
Because I hear people always talk about, oh, white people can do this, white people can do that, and I can't do this. And it's like, nigga, we actually are in a country.
But is it true though?
For me.
Is it true? Yes or no?
I'm talking for me.
Is it true though? Yes or no?
I'm a Black man, and I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Listen, is it true though? Do white people get away with shit? Yes or no? Yes or no?
I'm sure they do.
All right then. So why are you mad that people mad about it? You just said
it. They do. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying niggas give white people credit for everything all the fucking time. It's like, god damn. Fuck.
I don't understand your frustration.
That's all I hear.
I don't understand where it's coming from.
Hold me back. White people this. White people can do anything. White people, so white supremacy. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about? I'm not saying you. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying this is you. I'm not saying this is you.
No, I'm saying in
This is
regard
more
to
of a rant
this,
from a lot of
in
shit.
regard to this situation, like let's keep it.
I mean, okay, in this situation,
specific. In regard to this situation, nobody said that.
I'm just saying in general, I hear a lot of people always say the same kind of rhetoric over and over. White people can get away with it. White people can do this, and there's nothing happens.
Do they get
white people all the time. White people all the time.
Do they get away with
it's
it?
Not every white person, because George Floyd's murder is locked up right now.
But do they get away with it?
George Floyd's murder is locked away right now. So they didn't.
Okay. So what? They got one right, Anthony. So what?
I'm just saying.
Like they got one right. So what?
I just hear
they got one right. So what we supposed to do? We supposed to start. So what are we supposed to do because they got one right?
My frustration is coming not necessarily from this particular thing. The way you said it triggered me into other areas of my life.
I guess so. You mad?
No,
I need you to calm down.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't get it. Like niggas put white people on a pedestal, like they're just invincible. It's like they're just fucking people.
Niggas don't. Well, I can't speak for all the niggas, but I ain't never put.
I'm just saying some people that I'm not saying all black people. Some black people that I've heard, who just white people can do everything.
Y'all pissing Anthony off. Y'all better.
They can do everything. And it's like,
y'all pissing Anthony off.
What are we talking about? Like, why are we always talking about white people? Like, that's the thing. I know this topic was particularly for this reason, but in general, if something goes wrong, it's a white man. If I don't get the job, it's the white man. If I didn't get a raise, it's a white man. If I'm in poverty, it's the white man. If I don't like the way I'm living, it's the white man. And I'm like, why are we always
some of the points you made
blaming people for your own personal choices you choose?
Listen.
That's why
we've done this before, but we're not gonna do it today. I could get into it with some of the things that you just listed, and I could trace it back to white people. Some of the things you just listed, I would say 2 of the 3 things that you just listed, I could trace back to white people, but I'm not gonna do it.
Why not?
Not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I told you.
We gotta bring
I told you we have you are the one who wanted to talk about this white boy today.
I didn't even
want to talk about him.
I want to talk about.
I have given him 32 minutes of my time that I didn't want to, but for the purpose of the podcast, I know it's good content. We having a good time. We laughing. We got a big reaction out of Anthony, which we never get because Anthony is always chill. But
no, I mean,
I done told you.
Just real.
Told you. Don't let him do it to you, Anthony. Don't let him do it to you.
I'm always chill and calm, but like, fuck, man, like I'm sick of black folks always saying something about white folks. Always. Oh, I'm not saying always. I can't use that always. But for me, I hear this so much. The white man did it. The white man did it. He did this to me. He did it. It's their fault. I'm gonna tell you
why.
There's some truth to that.
I'm gonna tell you what. So the fact that you just admitted that there's some truth to it,
that's
the reason why I'll never argue with somebody about that, because there is some truth to it. White people do get away with shit.
I'm not saying that they don't, but black folks do too.
We all do, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Do. But the fact that 2 of the 3 things that you had mentioned previously, I not being the most intelligent person, not being the most woke sister, I fucking hate that term woke.
Me too.
Me just being, Chantal, I could probably trace that back. I could probably trace that back to white people. Okay. And the fact that I can do that means that there is some truth to what they're saying. And because there's some truth to what they're saying, it's gonna be exaggerated, it's gonna be blown up, and that's just something we have to come to terms to. It's the haircut.
It might be. I got a haircut today. I'm not too happy with it. And
hey, listen. You should have just came to me. I'm good with the clippers.
Oh, for sure. Okay, for sure.
I've been practicing. You should have just came to me.
Don't practice on me though. Hold on. You may be good, right? You good? No, I mean, okay. So hold on, but I just honestly,
how the beard is going.
This nigga's hating on my own damn live. This is crazy. My nigga,
that's really why he mad. Was it a black person that did the cut?
Yes.
Is that what it was?
Yes. Yes. That's what makes me more mad. I'm like, nigga, what are we doing?
That's why y'all done pissed him off. Y'all done pissed him off.
I had to go to like a white girl for the last like 2 months, 2 or 3 months, man. That's all I had. And I finally go to the niggas, and my shit's fucked up. I'm fucking hot. But anyway,
that's really why you mad. That's
not.
why
That's not.
you mad.
That's no.
Listen,
That's
I
not.
know. Listen.
No, real
I
real
know a
talk. That's
guy.
honestly how I feel.
Listen, Anthony, I know a guy. He gonna treat you
Mhm.
right.
Okay, for
All
sure.
right.
But
I
let
know
me.
a guy.
I do want to say
I'm
this
gonna
point.
make sure he's still cutting, but he gonna treat you right. He
Okay, for
used
sure.
to tighten up my tapers
No, okay, for sure. But
when I
no,
used to
okay.
get them.
But that's really not okay. Yeah, that might have been something that maybe instigated this a little bit, but not really. But really though, real talk, real talk.
It's the
I
beard.
just get so frustrated because like I just hear so like black people that I've heard. I'm not saying this to everybody, but some individuals in our community will just blame white people for everything all the time, and I just feel and how I see it is, dude, you got to work for your shit. You got to make it happen for yourself. No one's gonna give you shit. So you complain about where you're living and what you're doing, but you're not auditing yourself to see what am I doing is contributing to this problem that I'm having. Because it just blame white person for it. Oh, I'm in poverty, white person. Oh, I had 3 kids out of wedlock, white person. I'm like, what?
I had 3 kids out of wedlock. What?
That's what you be hearing. Like, oh, well, the white man told us we couldn't have a family. So I'm like, nigga, you chose to put your dick in. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I think you're being a little too extreme right now. You're
I'm just saying, no, but this is the kind of
exaggerating, bro.
stuff. This is the kind of stuff that I actually hear. Like
That's
it's like
pissing you off.
no matter what it is, that you could, no matter how the individual person was in the situation, it just goes back to being a white person's fault. And that's what the issue I have. I'm not saying that white people didn't do shit that's fucked up. I'm not saying they didn't hold black people back. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is that, nigga, how long are we going to use the same thing that a white person's holding you back today when it's not the damn truth right now?
How long?
How long are you going to use this excuse to not better yourself? And the longer you blame somebody, the longer you blame why I'm a shitty person at 25 because my parents fucking didn't do a good job, you have accountability to fucking change.
How long?
You're an adult. If you're a kid,
Everybody.
you can't say shit. When you're an adult, shut the fuck up and do something. Like that's really where this stems from. It's just because I hear people complain about shit and they blame it on somebody else when the reality is you're in this shit because the choices you made. This really the choices you made.
With that being said, the altar is open. The altar is open. The altar is open.
Getting me hot.
If you want to repent, if you want to take back your choices,
no, it's just like you can't take
the altar is open.
But you know what I'm saying? Like that's the problem. That to me personally,
is there one?
That is a problem.
Is there one that will stop blaming the white man? Is there one?
I just wish because look. This is how look it. Just imagine this. Just imagine, Chantal. Just imagine for 2 years, if every black person in America didn't blame a white person for anything that happens in their circumstance at the particular moment for 2 years, do you think we'd be a farther ahead as a black community?
But I don't understand the question. Like just by simply. So the only thing we're not doing, right? Everything else stays the same.
I'm kind of on a rant. Sorry, I'm on a little rant.
So do you really want me to answer this?
If okay, I'll even put it better. I'm probably digging myself a grave, but I'm not. I don't give a fuck. This is it. This is the honesty I feel.
You don't care.
But no. Do you think that if you stop blaming somebody else for your circumstances, do you think it'd be easier for you to get out your circumstance or situation? Or do you think it'd be harder to?
Okay. So I don't want to incite the rant again, right?
I won't rant anymore. I might.
But it's hard for me to answer this question because the first question, because I know specifically what it is you're talking about, and you're asking me if black people stopped blaming white people for their current predicament, would their predicament change dramatically in 2 years, right? That's your question.
Or would it have a higher chance of changing?
Here's the thing. The reason why I don't consider that a fair question.
Okay.
And you know why. Which is going to incite the rant again. But dare I say the words systemic, institutionalized racism?
Okay.
I know you hate those words. I know you do.
I don't hate it.
So if I use the words systemic, institutionalized racism, the only thing
Mm-hmm.
that will dramatically change the position of Black people in this country?
Is black people.
And
Is black people.
That's
it. That's all I have.
okay.
Oh, what was your and? What was your and?
Dismantling systemic, institutionalized racism.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Hmm.
would the very act, just the act of us not blaming white people, change our circumstances? Probably not.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Probably not.
So then, who
Not
would you?
dramatically. It would change a few things. We would have a few incremental steps forward. I 100% believe that.
Okay.
But does it drastically change the plight of the Black man in this country if he stops blaming white people? I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe.
I mean,
But,
I understand these are hypotheticals, and so there's no right or wrong answer, and I get it. I just disagree.
I know.
I highly disagree.
I know.
As somebody who is Black and is a Black man in America, and I was fortunate to have a blessed home.
So let's talk about privilege.
It's like I
We
said,
cannot have this conversation without identifying our privilege.
We all have privilege. We all have privilege.
We all do.
Every single one of us, Black or white, has privilege.
We all do.
Every single person does. So, like, the privilege thing.
So, in order for you to make that statement about how you made it and how you didn't blame people and how you made the correct choices, right? Those choices that you were able to make, the choices that you were presented with, are a result of your privilege, something that is outside of your control.
Okay.
So, would I point my finger at, my nose up at somebody who was not have the same privilege as me, and because they do not have the same privilege as me, they were not exposed to the same opportunities and choices that I had?
Right.
I will not turn my nose up at them. I will not wag my finger at them. I will not tell them the ways in which any of that. I will not. I'm not going to do that.
Okay. Okay. Which that's okay.
I know, because I ain't going to do it.
I just, at the end of the day,
you want to go off again?
No, I'm not trying to go off. I'm too thirsty to go off. I need water.
Get the man some water.
I need water. Hold on, let me get some water. Hold on. I got a thing right here.
He has to run to get the water. Listen, this is why I didn't want to talk about this white man today. Because I knew talking about this white man was just going to raise some stuff that, you know what, I wasn't trying to be Black. You know, I wasn't trying to have the Black caucus conversation tonight. You know?
I mean, I wasn't really either. I was trying to go on this for a quick second, and I don't kind of got, you know,
I wasn't trying to have the Black caucus conversation tonight, honey.
I know. I understand that's your point of view, and you're not going to tell anybody. But how I view it is,
okay,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I might have mistaken what you said. I don't want to paraphrase you wrong. You're saying you weren't going to wag your finger at somebody because they didn't have the privilege you had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But how would I sound if I saw somebody who had more privilege than me, and I just complained about their privilege and didn't even consider the privilege that I have? What would that sound? Huh?
No, it's valid. It's valid. I think that's a valid complaint. That's a valid complaint.
But that's also will go to say that every single individual has a unique type of privilege specific to their own life.
This is true.
You really be mad at somebody?
Here's the thing. Not privilege, right? Lack of privilege, right? There's certain things that people don't have, right? So it's valid for me to look at somebody who is able to make better choices than I am because of their situation. I can be mad at that situation. I can say that the only reason why they're able to make those decisions is because of the situation and the privilege that they have. I can 100% be mad at that, right? Because it's not fair. And I think that people in general have a dislike, something that it's really hard to reconcile things that aren't fair, right? And because it's hard to reconcile, it's hard to wrap your mind around it. People inherently feel some type of way when they see things that are not fair, right? At least I do, right? So maybe I'm not speaking for everybody. So
Okay.
in that instance, absolutely, people are absolutely going to talk about it. They're absolutely going to be upset about it because it isn't fair, right? And that's what we're talking about here. So
Okay.
again, no, I'm not gonna,
What,
tell them it ain't fair, but deal with it. Like I'm not gonna tell nobody that. I'm just not. That's just not my
I'm
plight.
in.
That's
I'm,
not my
yeah.
word. That's not my ministry. I'm just not gonna do it.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's not fair to deal with. I'm just saying uh, being mad about what's not fair. You can look at anybody in your neighborhood and say it's not fair because maybe they had
Yes,
two parents. Maybe you had one parent.
yes.
Maybe you had
That's
no
the
parent.
point that I'm making. Their
So
situation is what
everybody
makes
has,
them privileged.
but everybody has privilege, and everybody around you has different privilege that you may never have access to. Like, for example, I would never grow up with two parents. Am I mad at people for having two parents? No.
But are you mad? But do you sometimes get angry when you look at how the people with two parents, the lives that having two parents afforded them? Because sometimes I look at that and I'm like, well, you're able to, and I know clearly why you're able to do that. If I know people who are my age or older than me who have never had a job, right, or
Mhm.
don't know anything about working or trying to find a career or trying to hustle or anything like that because they have two parents that are take care of them, when I look at that situation, right, and they say something, anything to me, then yeah, I'm gonna feel some type of way. That's natural, right? But that's privilege,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So again, it's everybody has some form of it, but there are people who don't have the same the same kind that the rest of us have. So again,
Right.
we
Right.
all
Which is true. I agree. I agree with that. But my thing is, if I just stand here and point how unfair it is and don't do anything about my situation, what am I doing? Nothing. Just pointing at somebody else's life that's not fair when I wasn't even I didn't choose this, but these are the cards I was dealt. And so what I'm the point I'm making is I wasn't gifted the best cards or the worst cards. It's just the
I
cards I
understand.
was dealt.
I understand.
But what did I do? Did I blame anybody? No. This is the cards I'm dealt. So what do I do with the cards I'm dealt?
I
That's what I
understand.
did.
I
And that's
understand.
why I want for people to look at instead of trying to blame somebody, which I'm not saying that
But
you
but
can't
here's
blame,
the thing,
I'm not
given
saying that you can't blame them for something. I'm
but
just
the
saying
point that I'm
what
making is that given you don't have the worst cards in the deck, right? You just said that. I have good cards, I have bad cards, right? What if, but given the fact that you weren't handed all bad cards,
Mhm.
right? Given the fact that you were not handed all bad cards, in my opinion, does not give me or anybody else the right to talk about the way that they deal with their hand. And if they deal with getting a whole hand of bad cards by complaining about it, then that's their business. And
Okay.
they have a right to that.
I'm not saying
They
you
have a
can't
right to
I'm not
that.
saying you can't complain. I'm just saying you complaining is not changing your circumstance. That's all I'm trying to say. You can blame somebody, but when you become an adult, blaming your parents for the way you were raised when you can choose to do a different like go a different path is irrelevant anymore. It's like, well, because my parents were like drunks, I'm gonna be a drunk because that's the way they raised me. You have no accountability for the fact that you cannot. That's the point I'm making. Like you have no accountability for the fact that you can actually change. You can, but you're too busy blaming somebody, so it eliminates the fact that you change it because it's not your fault, even though you choose to drink. That's the point. That's the overall message I'm trying to say. Is that I hear a lot of people complain about what's not fair and what's not fair to them and how society is not right, right? It's not fair to anybody. But
That's not true. That's not a true
it's not
statement.
fair to anybody.
That's not a true statement.
Because
That's not
life,
a true
the
statement.
reason why I'm saying that is because life inherently is not fair.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can't choose what gender you were born as. You can't
No,
choose what race you are, and you
no.
can't choose where you're born. Those are
No,
3 things that are completely out of your control.
they are completely out of your control. The amount of privilege that you are born with is also completely out of your control.
Right.
However, to
But
say
you can
that none of, however,
I'll let you go.
when we're talking about fairness,
Mhm.
we have to acknowledge the ways that these things that though they may be outside of our control benefit certain people and
Okay.
not others. Okay?
Okay.
Not only does it benefit certain people and not others, it has benefited them,
Okay.
right? And it will continue to do so. Okay? And not only are we just talking about benefits and a better quality of life, we're talking about in some instances, this is life or death.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. That's true.
Okay. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Continue.
I understand. That's just my biggest plight is because I seen so many people who had the potential to better their situation, but
Hmm.
they didn't because they blame white people when they had the opportunity to change it. And that to me
It's
is an
fair.
issue.
It is.
Because even in my situation, if you look at my cards, I was born to a parent that was a drug addict, a dad that was a gangster, in jail, went into foster care and was adopted by a single mother with 8 kids. Is that sound like privilege? It doesn't. If you look at it from the face value, it's not.
To somebody
But if somebody of no
who
parents,
had no parents, that's the point that I'm making. To somebody who had
yeah,
no parents, that's absolutely a privilege. To
right,
somebody who had to stick with the drug addicted parents, that
right,
absolutely is a privilege. To the person who had to bounce around from foster home to foster home for 18 years, and then once they get out of the system at 18, right, they don't have any place to go, anything to do. That is absolutely a privilege. And that's the point that I'm making. So I will never look at that person, right,
mhm,
who was not afforded the privilege you had of being
mhm,
adopted, right?
mhm.
And tell them to stop complaining about their life. I won't do that because I don't know what it's like to walk in their shoes. I don't know what that feels like.
And I'm not
And
saying
because I
I'm
don't know
saying
what that
not to
feels like,
complain.
because I do not know what that feels like, I
Mhm.
cannot and I will not tell them how to live their life because I don't know what happened to them that is impacting them, that is affecting them, that is keeping them from living a life better, right? Or
Okay, yeah.
one that I think that they should live, right? And that's all I'm saying. You are right. You are right.
Warranted,
Complaining doesn't get you anywhere, right? But
warranted, yeah.
who am I to say, right? Who am I to judge your complaining? Because I never walked in your shoes. I don't know what that feels like. And
Right,
by saying, and it sounds like by saying that we need to stop blaming people, we need to stop complaining, we need to make better choices. What that sounds like,
mhm,
it sounds like is what that sounds like to me is that there's no empathy, compassion, or concern for the life that they had to live that we know nothing about. It's easy for us on the other side to say, stop complaining, make better choices, it's all in your hands. It's easy to say that when you didn't have to go through what they went through. Not to say that you didn't have your own problems that you had to go through, not
mm,
to say that your life was easy peasy growing up, right? But somebody going through stuff doesn't negate what you went through, and you going through stuff doesn't
right,
negate what nobody else went through, right? Like, not to say
right,
that our life was peaches and cream, because I know that it wasn't. But the same way that I would not allow anybody to judge my life and my decisions and my choices is the same way I feel the need not to judge anybody else's life or decisions. The same way that somebody looked at me and be like, Chantal, you should have been in this, bump you, right? That ain't
right,
got nothing to
for
do
sure,
with
for
you.
sure. Mhm.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and I agree, but I don't feel like I'm not coming from a place of empathy because I'm saying that. I'm just telling you the reality of what it is. I still understand, I feel for you that your situations were in certain areas. Other ways, maybe it's not. I can't tell you whose hurt is worse or not worse. There's no way. That's all subjective to the person. Somebody, getting their leg broken off could be the same, as bad as someone getting the heart broken. Who's to say whose hurt is worse? It's all
Nobody
depending on
is.
it's all depending on the person. But the same people could be raised in the same exact environment and have two different outcomes. You can have two brothers raised in the same house with the same parents who are both on drugs, and one can go and be on drugs, and the other one can go being successful.
Okay. But just because they were raised in the same environment doesn't mean that they're the same person. It doesn't
I
mean
know.
that they're going to feel or react to the things the same. So
I
you keep
understand.
bringing this up like, what's wrong with the other brother? If one brother can do it, then you can do it.
I'm not
You
saying
don't know how the trauma affected one brother over the other. That's the point that I'm making it. It doesn't sound like I'm not saying that you're not being compassionate or empathetic. It just sounds like a judgment to me. It sounds like you're judging them.
I'm not
That's what it
judging
sounds
them.
like to me.
I'm not even judging them for if they decide to go the route. That's what they choose to do. But all I'm saying is you can also choose not to do it. That's the point I'm making.
Okay.
It's yours. How you deal with trauma, I can't tell you how to deal with trauma. I can't tell you which way you should go about it. But I can say that is the longer you blame somebody for something, you're not putting yourself in a position to get over it because you keep just putting it on somebody else's. It's somebody else's fault. So you have no accountability to what your actions are going to do. So I'm not saying that, one brother is better than the other. I'm just saying if you're going to complain about how unfair this is or how wrong, how it was so bad for you, my question to you is, what are you also doing to contribute that yourself? That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying you can't feel a certain way. I'm not saying you can't be mad. But also, what are you doing to contribute? That's all I'm asking. And if you find ways you are contributing, then eliminate those ways to prove that it's all somebody else's fault. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying this is just easy. I'm not saying this is easy to do. I'm not saying this is just a wake up. I'm just saying, but that is the reality, at least from my opinion so far, that I've seen. Because I've seen people in a lot of different circumstances, worse than mine, make it. I see a lot of people that are worse in my situation not make it. And it came down to their choices. And the choices they choose determine where they went. So we can talk about how you feel about it. We can talk about it and get it out. And I understand. At the end of the day, the choices you're making, especially when you become an adult, because kids, you don't have as much say. Can't say that for kids. As an adult, you are choosing to live this way. You are choosing your outcomes based on how you do things. So that's the problem that I have. Is you blame somebody else for something that you could actually be out of if you chose different choices. But you didn't choose different choices. You just kept saying it was somebody else's fault. So you never did anything different. And then you kept fulfilling the prophecy because it's not on your own terms. And that's the issue. I believe is what I have. And that's where it lies for me mainly. Because I can tell you, I empathize with you. I can tell you, yeah, that sucks. I can tell you it's not fair. And there's things that are not fair. True. Now what? What do we do if they're not fair? Do we keep pointing that it's not fair because my mom raised me this way? Or white people did this 100 years ago? Or how they treated me when I went into the club last night? Or do I do something about it? So the next question is, what are you going to do about it? That's where the heat of the debate lies for me. Because you can blame somebody else. You can blame your parents for birthing you then. If that's the case, don't have no problem with it. Have problems with your parents because they birthed you in a place you don't want to be. But are you gonna do something about it or just stay in the situation? And that's why I will always disagree with that part, Chantal, because I'm gonna say it. Because I'll still feel for you and hear you. But I'm still that's true. It is not fair in these certain areas. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sit here and just wallow in it? Or are you gonna try to change your circumstance? Well, I can't because the white man held me down. How is he holding you down right now? What is he doing right now? Are you smoking? Are you drinking? Are you doing anything? Are you fornicating? Are you masturbating too much? Are your thoughts healthy? What are you doing to contribute? Oh, well, I was out here. I had threesome yesterday. Got 2 girls pregnant. And it's the white man. I'm like, what? Or my problems are so bad I got to drink, but you're choosing to drink every day. So that's what I'm saying. It's a choice. And that's, to me, I'm not going to not be that way. Because if I don't tell you, if I empathize with you too much, then you won't change. Too hard, you'll
If I
so
empathize with somebody too much, they won't change.
if I just tell you, oh yeah, that sucks, that's not fair, and
If
that's
I
it. Yeah.
empathize, that see what that sounds like doesn't sound like empathy. That sounds like a gaslight. First of all, let's be clear.
Really?
So when
Okay.
you say, yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Oh yeah, dang, that sucks. Dang, that's terrible. I get it. That sounds like a gaslight to me because you don't get it, right? That's the
Well,
definition of a
I'm
gaslight.
sympathizing. I'm
Is
sympathizing with you.
okay. Point.
I'm trying
Okay.
to understand your
It's
circumstances best I can. And
okay.
I'm saying
I heard you.
I
I
only
heard
get
you.
it from this point of view. I
I
hear
heard
you.
you. But I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't sound like empathy. It
Mm-hmm.
sounds like a gaslight. And when you said, if I empathize with you too much,
Mm-hmm.
then you won't change. I just think that's it's interesting.
Okay. Let me just clarify something. I just looked up a definition of gaslighting because I know it's a really weird kind of. It's really hard to explain. So people that don't know, I'm gonna read the definition just so we're all clear. So gaslighting is a form of psychological abuse where a person or group makes someone question their sanity, perception of reality, or memories. People experiencing gaslighting often feel confused, anxious, and unable to trust themselves. We all discuss how a person can respond to gaslighting when we seek help. So just to kind of clarify, because I know gaslighting is kind of uh, uh, it's hard to describe essentially. But I don't feel like that's gaslighting if I'm trying to understand you. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. And I agree with you. Yeah, that is true. So my question is like, what are we going to do about the situation? What are you going to do about the situation you're in? Because blaming somebody isn't getting you out of the situation. So now the question is, okay, there is a problem. So there's a problem, Chantal. There is a problem. It's not fair in America. It is not
Mm-hmm.
fair. This country has been made for white people. It's not for us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
no.
camera
You don't
gone.
hold
Hold
shit
up.
as well. My question is, what are we gonna do? I'll wait for you.
Come on, baby. There you go. There you go, homie.
Someone said Kyle Rittenhouse found out not guilty charge was that the right verdict. You hear me? I don't know who this is. You gotta go back early in live. We had the discussion. We had the discussion earlier. So go back in the live earlier. You'll hear all this. My gosh, Chantal, is this the Lord saying it's time to go?
Yep.
Well, nice
Yep,
feet,
that's
by
gotta
the
be
way.
what it
Nice
is.
sock. Hey, that's twice
You
in a
see my
row. Like
socks?
a little wiggle and pull. Oh my gosh, that is funny. That is funny. Gone hours ago for a pretty similar situation that happened to a man. Black man was armed. I gotta read this whole thing. Let me see. For reference, so someone's writing in the comments. Nice computer, by the way. I don't know if you can hear me, Chantal.
I can.
Okay, there's someone wrote a comment saying there was a pretty similar situation that happened with a black man. A black man was armed and was protecting a local business during a riot.
What happened to him?
Police shot at him from a van. He shot back after realizing it was the police. He put the gun down and surrendered immediately.
What happened to him?
And then let me see. There's another one. Then he says the charges against him by the police were thrown out, and he also received almost unanimous support from conservative and libertarian news outlets. Just like Kyle, it's not an identical case, but I think it's similar enough for comparison that you mentioned. Interesting. Do you know the person's name? I'll look into it and see some more. I don't know this case, so I can't give too much, feedback on it. But I would definitely curious to look at the case myself. So if you want, put the name of the guy in the chat so we can see. So yeah, that's interesting. If that is true, if that is indeed true, that's interesting. But I can't really. They said Jaleel Stallings is the name. Um, I don't know. I guess I don't know the case, so I can't really give too much feedback. It sounds similar from what you're saying. Um, so yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I have to look into the case some more to really give you a better perspective of my view. But yeah, thank you for that,
Yes.
Canon man goat
Stay the
shit.
plantation, some tell
Stay
people.
yeah. Stay the plantation. Stay the plantation. Some tell people, right?
I don't know what that
This sounds
means.
like plantation talk. I'm trying to confuse. I can't read what they're saying.
Sound like plantation talk. I don't know what that means, sir. I'm sorry.
Stay the plantation. Some tell people,
But
right? Can you clarify
I
your
do want to
comment?
understand you. So
Because I'm
clarify,
really curious.
please.
Huh? Oh, stay on the plantation. Some tell
The
people, right?
Democrat plantation.
Oh.
Stay on the Democrat plantation?
Oh, meaning that Democrats are for black people and stuff. Stay on the plantation. Some tell people right, like the right leaning, I'm assuming, which is the right. I don't know the right and left. Is the right Democrat? I'm
I
assuming.
still don't understand. I'm confused.
I, I'm
The
assuming
left.
that he's mean that Democrats are like the Democrats is the form of like the real slavery plantation in politics, essentially. That's why they always go for like the word
Mm,
Democrats, like for the black vote kind of thing. I'm assuming that's what they mean.
okay. Okay.
Uh,
All right.
I'm
Okay.
not. I don't do much politics, so forgive me. I just don't know it. I just
I
don't
don't have I
know
don't have a
politics.
particular thought on that at the moment.
Often conservative black people. Well,
Um.
liberation ones. Okay. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Um, yeah, like I said, I'll look at that case. Like the whole plantation stuff. I don't really know because I'm not into politics. I refuse to get into that shit. To me personally, it's just not for
Well, you did not refuse to
me.
go on this rant today.
I was ready today. I was ready today.
I see, man. I thought we was gonna come on here talking about funny stuff, man. I was ready to talk about Jada Pinkett and Dave Chappelle. Right now, we had to
You know,
like have a Black Caucus meeting in front of I wasn't prepared for that today. I
I
wasn't
wasn't
prepared
either.
for Black
Honestly, I was just
Caucus
kind of like gonna hit on the
outlook. Like,
Red was his name Rittenhouse thing, and then kind of go on. But I don't know. It kind of got a little lost in the sauce, to say at least.
that's
But
what
yeah,
happens. That's what happens.
yeah, no, like I said, that's just how I feel about the whole thing. Saying that, this is just the right way. This is just my way. Um, you know, and
For sure.
you know, that's what it is. We all have a different experience, and we all come from different backgrounds and different points of view and different perspectives and different ways we were raised. So, we all gonna have a little bit of a different time with this. But
Agreed,
yeah,
agreed. It's all good.
like
It's all
yeah,
good.
for
It's the
just
purpose
yeah,
of the conversation itself is what
yeah,
brings clarity, in my opinion.
yeah.
You can't
But yeah,
act
like
intentionally without clarity. So the
yeah, but
conversation brings clarity.
I definitely am. I'm definitely like empathetic to people, and I'm also like, but what are you gonna do? Because that right there is where the sauce is, in my opinion. So, but yeah, I think this was a good Chantel.
The
I think
sauce, cuz
this sauce. It's funny.
the
We totally
sauce.
switched roles. Totally switched roles.
Listen, I told you. I don't know when it was, but I told you I wasn't getting hyped like that on no more. Like it's not a whole lot
Mhm.
these days that I'm going to allow to
I
take
understand.
me to that space, right?
Mhm.
And that was my original intent when I
Yeah.
said what I said to start this about, I don't really care
Eh,
about the white boy and him getting off. That's
I
not
can't.
too high on my thought list. It
Yeah.
can't be, right? Because if I constantly got angry or enraged or reacted to everything in the media about, Black Lives Matter or about injustice, black on black crime, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. If
Mhm.
I allowed myself to react to every piece of news in
Mhm.
relation to those topics, then I would not have anything. I'd be empty, right?
Mm.
Like I'd be
Mhm.
tired and I wouldn't sleep at night and I'd be angry all the time. And I just don't want to live my life like that personally. So while
I
it
understand that.
sucks and I believe what I believe, right? Like you didn't change my mind, I didn't change yours. So again, the conversation provides clarity. So I don't mind having the conversation, although I did think we was going to talk about funny stuff.
Oh, wait, we can still talk about Jada for a few minutes because look, I can say some shit about her too.
I think we should save it because you expended enough.
I got a lot left in the tank.
You
Right now, I got a bunch left in the tank for her.
do okay,
Not
okay,
really.
all right.
No.
Well, I was about to say,
I
all right.
did
Well,
last
if you
week.
wanna,
I did last week, and I reflected on some things I was thinking of, how I felt, and now I'm like, I still don't care for it, but I'm not as how do I say it? As emotional about it. I'm just like meh. It's like it's annoying.
yeah, like,
Eh, you know,
listen,
eh, you know. So, we got. Hold on, I
Jay.
gotta read.
If you look at this, all of this
Okay,
lens, you read that and tell me what he's talking about.
let
But
me
if
see.
you look at
Uh-huh.
everything through the lens that Jada is trying to promote her red table so she can continue to make her money and stay relevant, and Will Smith is trying to promote his book so he can make his money and stay relevant. When you view things through those lenses, then you understand like don't none of this shit matter. They at home chilling while we reacting to their life. They don't give a fuck.
And that's
Excuse my language. They don't care. They
why I
don't
came to
care.
the conclusion because I was like, man, why is she doing this? Why is she out here, exposing this
To
guy,
stay
man?
relevant and to
And
make money for the red table.
which I was a little like, man, this she's just like dragging this dude through the mud, like like in some sense, like it's like this is like you don't got to put this business out there. But I was also like, one, this ain't my relationship.
And
Two,
another thing,
and two, you
we
gotta remember,
looked at it.
you gotta remember this though. You gotta remember this.
What?
Hold on, you gotta remember this part. You gotta remember,
What?
this show also includes a grandmother, a daughter, and
Mm-hmm.
a granddaughter all working together at the same time in the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
So like, as much as a gripe I have, I don't
That's
care
beautiful.
because like if you look at them, it's a very
Mm-hmm.
strong family unit of a Black
Yeah, that's
family.
beautiful.
So I can't
Agreed.
really. I'm not gonna. One, I mean, there's things I don't like, obviously, but I look at the overall picture. So I still feel it's
Agreed.
the way she says things about her relationship and how
Right.
Noah has to come back and do damage control and makes him look like a certain light. But at the same
Right.
time,
Right.
I can't knock the fact that she is having 3 generations of family on about stuff. I mean, to me, that's like, damn, I don't see a lot of Black people in that kind of situation. Whether you're rich or not,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that kind
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
like get along, like where it's
Mm-hmm.
like you'll handle business together, y'all on the same accord
Mm-hmm.
together, y'all bringing this money together as a team, whether you disagree or not. Like that's powerful to
Mm-hmm.
me. So
The
I got.
family unit. Ooh, he frozen.
I'm frozen.
Yeah.
Am I frozen?
No, you back now. You back now.
But yeah, I
I
looked at that,
agree with you.
and I was like, I can't. As much as I do have a gripe with that, but I can't sit there and take away from the fact that she is kind of having a whole legacy of generations on her show discussing
Right.
shit between Black family. And so
Right.
that's
Right.
something
Right.
worthy of noting.
Right.
Like, besides what she says about her husband and whatever, their shit, that still holds a lot of value to me. So, yeah. So last week I would have said
Salute King Kyle the Lion Heart. Put him on Mount Rushmore immediately. I'm starting to think that these are not real people.
they have
I
to be.
really think. I
Yeah.
think that these are droids just saying stuff. I don't know because they don't have real names. Yeah, I don't think that these
Can
are
y'all
real
say your
people.
names at least? Like,
Yeah, I don't think these are not real people.
hold on. Let me read.
And I'm sticking by that.
Okay, no
He
problem.
said, "I am not a robot." All right. He's not a robot. He said it. Yuri
No, I'm
is
just
the name.
Yuri. All right, Yuri. Thanks for
All right.
tuning in, man. No, I mean, I am really curious about what you were saying earlier about the particular case. I do want to see
I'm
if the things
sorry.
like.
You're not a robot.
I was like, there's no way. But I was like, how is a robot
I
coming up
just
with all
wanted
these
to see if you
details,
were going to respond. See, I did that on purpose. I wanted to see if he was going to respond.
Yo,
It's
like,
the
what's up,
method.
Yuri?
It's my
Hey, shout out
madness.
to Yuri, coming in, giving us some more information to look into. Appreciate it. Yeah, I wasn't sure either, but I'm like, he's having a lot of details for a robot, though. Usually robots are like, give you some bullshit, just random shit, and
Listen,
you know,
that's all
it
I
could
can
be
do.
still. I can't say it's not. I haven't read the story myself, but thank you, Yuri. You did give us a name, so I kind of have to hold that.
Oh, sick Vegeta, bro. He looking at your skateboards.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That's the prince of all sayings, represent, that's my nigga right there. Even
No
though
one cares about your Pokemons.
first, y'all
I'm just kidding. I know it's
just
Dragon Ball Z. Do
maybe
not
the
come for me.
disrespect.
That was a joke. That was
Y'all
a joke.
see that? Y'all,
was
I don't
joking.
joke or not joke. That's
That was a joke.
disrespectful to the
All
king.
right, that was
To
a
the
joke.
king?
I know
To
who
the king?
Vegeta is, and I
To the
understand
king?
that.
Nah. Anyways,
All right, fine.
let's get.
Well,
Let me get.
listen. I
Yeah,
mixed the animes because I really wanted to piss y'all off tonight.
I'm just like, that's that bullshit. That's that bullshit.
I'm just
Pokemon,
joking.
that's
I'm
so disrespectful.
kidding.
I know you're
I did
joking, but
not mean
still,
that at all.
that's still
Y'all
so
don't
hurt.
say nothing crazy to me in these comments.
Don't say nothing about no Dragon Balls either. Like off limits, unless you're saying something good about Vegeta, don't say shit. You're gonna see me go all the way off, and Chantal's gonna be like, "All right, I'm out. I'm gonna go off on all y'all."
I'm not
Anyway.
gonna do it. I believe you. If it's gonna be anything like your rant from earlier today, I don't want no parts of it. No parts of it, boss. I don't want none.
Here, I'm gonna read some of these comments.
Sorry.
Hold on. Breonna Taylor's boyfriend shot the policeman. Okay, we read that part. Let me see. Let me see if I can get these back on the screen. It wasn't working. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Good place to check. You want to see the footage? Okay. Let's see the next one. If anything, I suspect this was just testing the water, a power play to see a life in prison from peer pressure and from counterculture. Interesting.
That's never, but something like that has never influenced. Things like that don't typically influence the justice system in that direction. I hear what you're saying, but the media typically doesn't influence decisions in that direction. In the opposite direction, though.
Yes. Okay.
In the opposite direction.
It says Spain. I don't know if it's Ricardo. Spain is a better example than Jaleel Stallings. Dude runs at him. He blasts him. No charges other than being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm. Okay, let's see the next one. He got probation. Former heavyweight boxer who fought Tyson. The camera footage from the bus is easy to find. Let's see. Then it says, yeah, it was a test, and now we know it's okay to walk into a riot and kill protesters as long as you can get them to chase you. Warranted. That could be true. Okay, Lion, put him on the hard rush. Okay, not doing that.
I don't know what that is. I don't even know what that comment means, sir.
Salute King Kyle, the Lion Heart. They're meaning like he's a hero and put him on Mount Rushmore because he's a hero, apparently.
Oh, Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero.
I wouldn't say that. I'm assuming it's Kyle Rittenhouse.
Okay.
That's kind of yeah, it's pretty far, buddy. Pretty far, but it's okay to have.
I feel like he may be. I don't know you personally, but I just feel like you may be one of those "Make America Great Again" folks. And if so, I think this. I don't know if you know what you listen to. This might be the wrong podcast for you, but maybe not. Maybe not. I'm glad you're with us though.
Well, the thing is, maybe we can educate people on this kind of stuff. Maybe we can educate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's go to the next one.
I appreciate you listening, Yuri.
Okay, it says black man named Andrew Coffey, the fourth, I think that's the fourth, was found not guilty today after shooting 5 cops in a SWAT raid. Who? Leroy. Okay, I don't know. Leroy Green 1 hour ago. Okay, that was an hour ago. All right. Let's see who else. My boy was terrorizing the chopper, Rocka, Naka nigga's head off. I don't know. My boy was terrorizing.
Yeah, and if his name is Yuri, and he's saying niggas.
That definitely sounds not like a black person.
This don't sound like this don't sound like the work you want to hear.
A lot of people, I don't know if he's white or black. I can assume by his name, but we're assuming. But I know a lot of people.
We're not making assumptions. Yuri saying
that
King
sounds
Kyle
like from Spain
being
or
a
something.
black dude, that would be a little suspect, right? So
I never met a black named Yuri.
I
never met a black named Yuri. Just saying.
I'm gonna make an assumption that Yuri is not a black man.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna make that assumption.
I would assume
and if
so.
Yuri is not a black man using the word nigga in a comment, no matter how he spelled it, but we get exactly what he's saying on a podcast with 2 African Americans. Yuri, I'm telling you, bro, this might not be for you.
And I know that too because the other guy had said N word and he didn't say niggas. He said N word at people. So
That's
it's
all I'm
different,
saying.
different kind of vibe.
It's different
But hey,
kind
I'm
of
gonna tell you
vibes.
right now, I don't agree with that shit. One, I'll tell you right now, I never will, never have, never will. I don't believe that anybody should be saying niggas except for niggas. It means you black. That's it. I don't
Where
like that
you
shit at the skate park.
might
I
want
don't
to
like that shit
excuse yourself,
online.
bro.
I don't like that shit anywhere I go. I don't even really say nigga that much. Outside of right
This
now.
not for you, bro. It's not for you. If you want to be one of them nameless, anonymous people that just say shit, then you know.
Okay, here, we're gonna get these comments here. It was the right verdict. There wasn't a single I don't know what's
Iota.
of evidence that was against him. Clear cut self defense according to the law, regardless of black or white. For this particular comment, Canon, or I don't know how you say it, Canon Goat, whatever. You need to go back to the beginning of this show because we actually elaborate on that pretty well, and we had different points, but they were both very good points to consider. So you need to go back and watch it. Next one. The law is the law, and the verdict is correct. If he was black and found guilty on all charges, it would have been the wrong verdict. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say that really quick. The law is the law, but the law's law doesn't mean that the law is correct. It doesn't. It just means that the law is the law. It doesn't mean that it's morally correct. It's just what they deemed as illegal or illegal. Just like marijuana was illegal at one point. A plant that
people. Go ahead. Yes, absolutely. And the people who deem these things correct usually have a controlling interest or a bottom line to consider. Who they want to lock up, who they don't want to lock up. The prison industrial complex is a real thing, and it generates billions of dollars. In the private prisons generate billions of dollars every year. So again, you are right. The law is the law, but just because the law is the law does not make it correct. That is an excellent point.
Yeah, I just don't agree in that shit because like people always say, "Oh, it's the law," but it's like, yeah, but like marijuana was illegal at one point, now it's not.
So was
alcohol. All these different substances were illegal. Yeah, so was alcohol. There's a lot of shit that was illegal that isn't wrong.
The real thing, yes.
And a lot of shit that is legal that is wrong. So you can't
and the Kennedys, who are known from making their fort, the Kennedys are fucking an American loved family, and they made their money during Prohibition as bootleggers. That is how they made their fortune, and that is America's loved family. But if some black people did some shit like that, they'd still be in jail. Just say grandkids would be.
It'd be crazy. It's really crazy the shit. I've seen differences. We'll get on that in a little bit. But yeah,
let's get through the rest of these comments.
There's a lot. There's like a bunch coming in. So we're gonna go through this. Okay, and then you have the case for unrest in the streets, and I would support it. Facts are facts, regardless of color. Okay. Let's see. Should he have put himself in that situation? Probably not. The victims shouldn't have put themselves in that situation either. So that is irrelevant.
It is irrelevant when you consider who instigated what, right? In my opinion, it's not irrelevant when you consider who instigated what.
But I agree. I agree though with that particular comment is shouldn't have put himself in that situation because I know damn well I wouldn't be going out there. I just won't. It's just me. Like just not me. I'm not gonna do it. I'm black. I'm not gonna do that shit. So you know what I'm saying? You going? Just saying. We'll leave that alone though. Or we get canceled out here in 2020.
Him pulling the trigger is what they're looking at, and why did he do it? And it was clear cut self defense. Again, I think the verdict was too high. I mean, I think that the charges were too high. They tried to get this dude on first degree murder, which
that wouldn't have happened anyway.
To prove. Because that is willful and malicious intent, and proving.
I didn't intentionally go out there and do that.
Yeah.
Like first degree murder is like I planned on doing this. I thought about how I was going to do it, and then I go and did it. That's a lot different than being in a situation.
Extremely hard to prove that he left the house that night trying to kill people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's very.
Burden. I mean, it's just a hard burden to prove.
Unless you have some journals somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like that's very hard to prove someone's intent without any evidence of it. So next one. I
actually believe that if the victims were black in the exact same circumstances,
and the Kyle would have gone to jail. All parties were white, and the media still tried to make it about race. Let me read this again.
I disagree with that fact. I disagree. If Kyle would have shot black protesters, I think that this would have turned out exactly the same. All parties were white, and the media tried to make this about race. I do agree with that. The media is trying to create reaction from people. That's their job. That's why they exist.
And you got to remember too, the media has a job.
They
The
have a
media
job to
has
do.
a job to do, and their job is to keep you in, keep you watching, and keep you emotional.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to spin anything
Exactly.
however they want. They could, because
Exactly.
I even saw one clip, and it said that he killed 3 black people, and I was like, hold on, what?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was confused. I'm like, wait, oh, you killed white people? I
Mm-hmm.
was confused. I'm thinking he kills like black people, and it was like, nah. So, anyways, like,
Well, I
yeah,
mean, given the fact that he was in Wisconsin, I'm not going to say there's no black people in Wisconsin.
I don't know
I
him
don't
personally.
know, right? I don't know, but
Oh,
Wisconsin
T-Pain.
doesn't sound like a. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. But
happening
he was in Wisconsin. I
somewhere in
thought white people were not in
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Maybe that's racist. I don't know.
All right, next one. Also, what are privileged white guys doing, going around and burning things to the ground at a Black Lives Matter protest? Why were they there? Okay.
That's why they tried to prove intent, because what are you doing there, right? Like, why were you at the protest unless you was trying to get some shit started?
Yeah.
But again, you know, you can do whatever you
the
want.
thing is, we really don't know. Like, the thing is, we don't really know. We hear what he said, but we don't really know. We'll never really know.
I mean, I feel like he was there to do exactly what he did. Honestly, I feel like he was there to do exactly what he did.
I mean, if he was a master manipulator,
you know, is not the same thing as a burden of proof.
well, and warranted. He could have been very, very intelligent to the point where, let me go and pretend like I'm doing all this just so I can shoot people. There are people that are really like crazy like that could actually do that. Well, stage a whole
I don't
thing.
want to give a white boy that much credit. I don't want to get a white boy that much credit.
I'm just saying people. I'm saying people. You gotta remember, there are like serial killers and stuff that would do this kind of shit. That would be very meticulous about how they do stuff to get away with shit. So I watch a lot of crime shows. My bad. All right.
What's the next one?
The narrative is that white people are privileged. So why are the media defending these white guys so hard? Political ideology. Okay.
Who knows why the media does what they do?
They're the media.
They do what we just talked about this. They try to keep you reactive and emotional. The guy he killed was a convicted sex offender and was running around shouting.
Oh, this was saying the N-word at people.
The N-word at people at a Black Lives Matter protest prior, on top of it being white. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And the media has nothing to say about that.
Really, the facts nor the circumstances matter to the media. Everything. Okay, let's keep going.
Again, we know they're trying to create this polarization between the two sides, right? If you can just get people so angry that they stop thinking, right? Or so emotional that they stop using logical thought, right? That's the purpose of this. That's the goal. Then people can react. That's the goal.
Yeah. And that's why do you think there's always publicized black and white, black and white, black and white. And if you put on the news, it's like, oh, these black thugs, they put it in a certain way to get you emotional. So you got to understand, you're watching. It's almost like you're watching a movie that's supposed to be entertaining, but it's real life. So you got to understand what you're looking at. They're doing this intentionally.
So this doesn't make sense. And I mean, everything needs to be skewed in favor of ripping down the system through division. That's the goal. That's whose goal. Who wants to rip down the system? From where I stand, the system is benefiting people, right? So those people don't want to see it ripped down. That would be ludicrous.
Well, this is the comment before, and the media has nothing to say about that. Really, the facts and the circumstances matter to the media. Everything, and I mean everything, needs to be skewed in the favor of ripping down the system through division. That's the goal. Oh, are you talking about like the media division?
Whose goal? Whose goal is that?
Yeah,
whose goal is that?
Is that your goal? Are you saying that should be the goal of people, or are you saying that should be a goal of certain people? I just need a little more clarity because I want to make sure. Next one, you must absolutely be honest, Stevie. What? Not everything is easy to talk about when talking about politics. Your views are your views, and they are commendable and should be respected either way. I agree.
Amen.
That is a good comment. Sometimes you have to say things you don't want to say to people you don't want to say it to, but that's life. I agree. That's true.
Such is life.
Please listen to the song "I'm in This." This is a diss by Dizzle Automatic. Please.
I can tell you right now, I'm probably not going to listen to that. Just being honest.
Send it to me. I might. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm probably not going to listen to that.
Okay, that's it.
I'm in this bitch. This is a diss lyrics.
I'm sorry.
Definitely. I'm sorry.
Like, how you gonna name the title of a song? I'm in this bitch, and this is a diss. Like,
but I respect the hustle. I
I give
respect
you
the
points.
hustle.
I give you points because it did make me laugh in this bitch.
I
Okay,
respect the hustle, right? Go ahead and drop
there's
it.
no way to put
Shit.
the whole hook in here. Hold
If
on.
I had a diss track, I'd drop that shit in the comments too.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
Up.
Hey, he shot his shot. Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not
gonna front. I ain't
not mad
mad
at all.
because you
I'm
did.
not
Look,
mad at you at all.
look. He wrote intro and then look at the next. Look at he put the hook in this motherfucker. Look, he said, "I'm in this bitch. Yeah, this is the diss to rappers influencing little kids with ignorance." Does he really? He really putting the whole.
Listen,
okay, I'm not gonna read your
I'm
verse.
not mad.
I'm not reading your
I'm
verse.
not mad at you.
It's funny though. You did make me laugh. That was kind of funny. That was a
We're
good.
not going to go through these song lyrics. Anthony, don't do it. We're not going to go through these song lyrics.
This is kind of funny though. This is the last one. I'm asking why y'all rapping for stacks of cash, plaques, awards, flashy cars, and fancy broads. What the fuck's your passion for? Not bad. You got what's your rap name?
He said it's not even my
Like,
music. LOL. But I would know.
Thank you for making me laugh today. That was actually pretty entertaining.
I'm not mad. If I had a diss track, I would drop the shit in the comments too. However, I'm probably not gonna listen to that.
Now it's not your music. I'm definitely not gonna listen. But hey, good shit. I read your shit. So So yeah, I think we should wrap it up, Chantal.
Because we've been on here for a long time.
Yeah, but it's like a show, you know. We got a show. We got people.
Oh, okay. This is a long ass show. This might have been like, all right.
I know you was ready like at 30 minutes, like so.
Nah, like you know.
But nah, I think it was a good conversation to have. I think it was a decent conversation. I think it's good to see two different sides of the same coin and see like where you missed things or where you didn't see things in certain ways. So I like it. I don't mind the challenge and the question. I don't mind it at all. It just helps me get a better idea.
What does dude say? You definitely won't listen because it's not what?
Because it's not my music. Well, of course.
All right. Well, I thought it was. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, when I was
I'm not listening because it's not yours. I'm not listening because I'm just not listening. Right.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. When I started reading the verse, I was kind of rapping. I'm like, okay, yes.
What the hook gonna be? So y'all don't want another hook on this beat. All I need is a track in the background. My headphones loud. Keep my shit going around.
Wow, Sean.
What y'all know about that?
Wow, that's
what y'all know about that Murphy Lee.
Damn, that brought me back a day.
What y'all know about that Murphy Lee? Turn me up.
Dang. Damn. All right, I respect it.
All right, y'all. Yeah. It was fun. When we coming back for the people? Tell the people when we coming back. When we gonna do another
Monday.
live?
So the goal is gonna be Mondays and Fridays at this point. Hope for Mondays and maybe sometime during the rest of the week. Kind of figuring out our schedules now, but we'll definitely be shooting again Monday. So Chantal, be ready. As you always are.
Look, no Black Caucus talk. I mean, we can do it because we need to again, but you just gotta let me know. I was not prepared for that today.
I'm not gonna lie. Look, that was all improv for me too. I wasn't thinking of this. I was just like, hey, we're gonna talk about it real quick. I was like thinking 10, 15 minutes, talk about Jada and Will. That was like kind of my thought, but that's
that was my thought too.
That's what conversation kind of goes. Sometimes it gets a little deep, but I would say it's probably my fault. I just kind of get a little.
It's not your fault. It's good TV.
So it's okay though.
Not
it's
TV,
good either way.
It's called.
This is TV.
Good y'all content.
Shit. Anyway, so thank y'all so much. Hey, before you go, Yuri, Cannon, go with your raps and shit. Hey, make sure you subscribe and put your notification bell on. Subscribe.
Not Yuri. Yuri, actually, I don't think I want you to subscribe.
Nah, subscribe because they need to learn. They need to learn about this shit. They want to say shit. They need to understand why you shouldn't. Because in certain areas, you can't do that shit. And I promise you, if you in certain areas, you ain't gonna say that shit. You only say shit behind a keyboard. But trust me. Go to 54. You ain't saying
a little bit more forgiving. Yuri can go kick rocks. All right.
All right, for sure.
This other dude on here, you're super entertaining. Thank you for hanging out with us. I don't know your name, and I'm not gonna pronounce that.
I tried.
But super entertaining, dropping facts and stuff in the chat. Well, I'm not gonna call it a fact because it hasn't been verified. Just because you said it don't mean it's true. But I do appreciate you coming with alternative viewpoints and points of views of information, and trying to drop your diss track in the comments.
Hey, by the way, go ahead. Like I said, go and subscribe because every time you're on, I'm gonna call you out. When you on here and I see you, I'm gonna call you out because that shit was.
We gotta give him a nickname though.
Yeah. Hey, what's your nickname gonna be? Because we have a few people that I know that come on the show all the time. They're in the chat, and they're like the unsung. They're like the extra
His
host.
nickname gonna be Cody.
Cody,
Cody, because it's a C on here, and that's the first C name that I came up with, Cody.
Okay.
And Cody sounds like a guy that would drop his diss track.
Touche.
Doesn't Cody sound like that dude?
He said goat. I'm not calling you goat. It's okay.
I'm gonna call you
Cody.
Cody.
I think Chantal had a better name.
I'm gonna call you Cody.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, we appreciate you. Appreciate all the support, all the comments. If, like I said, if you like it, go ahead and like this video and share it. If we had a good discussion and stuff, I think was pretty good. Share this to your friends and family. Let them get educated on some stuff. And for freedom at any cost. That's right, freedom at any cost. I don't know where you're going with that.
I don't know what you're talking about, Cody.
I just kind of agree in this moment. I'm not saying I don't know what it means. I'm just going to agree.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Cody.
All I know is I'm free every day, so I'm good.
All right, we gotta go. Let's go.
Chantal, appreciate you. All right, well, we're gonna end it. Appreciate you, Chantal. Thank you so much. Chantal in the building. She hates that, everybody. So don't call her that if you see her on the streets.
Don't call me that.
Don't call her that. I promise you, but I can call her that because.
Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. Go ahead and hit the Cash App. Donate $5 to the cause.
Yeah, if y'all want to donate, man, please. Yeah, $1, anything helps. Like, shoot, we're trying to get this entertainment for you guys.
It got to be at least $5, $250.
They still going. Many are lost, but wait.
We're not going to read all of Cody's comments now.
It's the very last one. It kind of hit me. Many are lost. Let me just put it on here. Many are lost, but many know about the influence within the flow. Instead of helping their people to grow, they take an advantage so they can get dough. I'm letting you know that I've been chosen. I made that myself. All right, Cody. Thank you so much. Chantal, let me move this off the thing. Chantal, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we're going to get back to this on Monday. Be ready, guys. And we're going to get it. We'll see you on the next one. Peace, love, and hair grease. Unpack Your Bag Podcast. On the next one later. I'm going to get the last